Hello and welcome to the Demo Gaming YouTube channel. I'm Antonio and today I'll be sharing my guide on how to play Gangplank in the top lane. If you want even more information on Gangplank, make sure to check out my mobile fire guide in the link in the description. Remember that the mobile fire guide won't be done when the video is uploaded, since it does take a lot of time to make one of those guides. Gangplank has been pretty strong for a while now, and he's a very good champion to main since his win rate goes from 48% to 53% when you have more than 51 games played. He's versatile and really annoying to deal with since he can burst squishies with his E and he can get out of CC with his W. Alright, so let's talk about his runes. So his standard rune page is Inspiration and Resolve, taking Kleptomancy, Magical Footwear, Biscuit Delivery, Time Warp Tonic, Bone Plating, and Second Wind. I take Klepto because it's great with your Q and against tank matchups where the opponent can't really trade back that well. It also helps you buy your item spike, which is Triforce, a little bit faster. I also like taking Magical Footwear because it saves you the trouble of actually having to buy the basic pair of boots. And then Biscuit Delivery is good because it works well with Klepto, allowing you to sustain in lane so you can poke more. Time Warp Tonic also helps with sustaining and keeping as healthy as possible. Bone Plating is also good in most situations because it allows you to take less damage in all-ins or heavy trades. And Second Wind is good because it helps you sustain after trading and helps you heal back some health. Another good rune setup is Resolve and Sorcery, taking Grasp the Undying, Bone Plating, Chrysalis, Revitalize, Mana Flow Band, and Celerity. This rune page is much better for matchups like against Fiora, Kayle, and Yorick. You can also definitely play more aggressive in the early laning phase with it, although I think that the first rune page is better in low elo. So the standard build on Gangplank is Triforce, Boots of Lucidity, Yamu's Ghostblade, Sterak's Gauge, Phantom Dancer, and Infinity Edge. Triforce is your power spike and it helps you to clear waves much faster while giving you some crazy speed with the Phage. When I do my first back, I like to buy Sheen because your usual starting items will be Sapphire Crystal and Refillable Potion. Knowing matchups is really important because it can help you determine the best way to play laning phase, or if you should even pick Gangplank if you know the enemy top laner in champ select. Because you don't want to be stuck in a game where you're losing for like 30 minutes straight while your team flames you. By the way, if your team does flame you, just slash full mute all. Champions that counter Gangplank are Trendemir, Yorick, Quinn, Pantheon, and then Gangplank counters Poppy, Nasus, Aloy, and Shen. It's important to know how you play your laning phase before you get into the lane. Ask yourself if you need to play super safe because the enemy counters you, or if you can play really aggressive. If you're going against a tank top, remember to get the Klepto rune page and use your Q to proc it. One thing that you do need to remember about queuing enemies in laning phase is that it does count as an auto, so the enemy minions might aggro onto you, which will push the lane, since the enemy minions will be attacking you and your minions will be attacking their minions, so your wave will push. So make sure to time your Qs effectively. If you're going against a champion that destroys you in trades, you can take Grasp, but you'll usually want to let them push the wave and only auto and Q to last hit. I would suggest to use your barrels to stop the minion wave in front of your tower to have a nice freeze. Mechanics. So the hardest part of Gangplank is actually landing your barrels. It is your main source of damage, and if you're inexperienced in the timings, the enemy will probably just auto before you can even detonate it. And Gangplank really relies on his barrels to do most of the damage. Make sure that when you try to time the combo, that you're also adding the animation of the time of the Q to get a perfect time combo. Remember when you're doing the 2-barrel combo that you're only placing the second one when you plan on detonating him right when you place it, so the enemy doesn't have a chance of autoing it. There's another combo that surprises the enemy, and that's when you Q a barrel then place the second one. It can be beneficial to use this technique, but it's not necessary in most situations because it can be very hard to hit. A tip for hitting your level 13 barrel is to place it a little out of your Q range, and then when you go to walk it up, your Q should perfectly hit it. Mid-game. In the mid game, you start to get really strong since you're around level 13, and your barrels start to get really strong since the ticks are very fast. and you can start making some game-winning plays. Team fighting is where Gangplank shines because it can be hard for the enemy to actually track your barrels in the team fight, and you can just pretty much just go and clean up. And that's it for this guide. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment for more videos.